All right, we have another issue of continuing education about to happen. All right, I'm Minister James Moss. We are in the book of Luke and we're in chapter 21. We're going to cover verses 25 through 33. This one is entitled, Jesus Tells About His Return. All right, so we're going to just jump right into it. It's not going to be long. All right, and the next one's going to be really short as well. So let's just do what we do. All right, here we go. After predicting Jerusalem's destruction, Jesus described his second coming. It will be accompanied by all kinds of cosmic signs, instilling terror in those who are unprepared for the end, but inspiring hope in those who are anticipating his return. Don't be caught unprepared. Commit yourself to follow Jesus wholeheartedly and pray fervently. Okay, so here we go, verses 25 through 33. And I want to make sure I don't go past 33 because you guys know I get to reading and the next thing you know, I'm like, wow, I went past my goal here. All right, so where's my pen? And I have a pen that I normally keep here to do this. I tell you, when you're doing things that for the kingdom, I mean, sometimes, man, the enemy just finds any little thing to distract you, to try to dissuade you, whatever. Don't let that happen. And I can testify right here in front of you that yes, during this time, these undertakings of doing these videos, there have been numerous times the enemy has been trying to put little roadblocks in the way or allowing something to happen to where I'm like, God, I can't go and do that right now. I'm just, and the thing is, the Spirit of the Lord tells you to keep pressing on. Regardless, regardless of what happens, that we continue to serve the Lord and we continue to move forward. All right, so here, and I was looking for my pen, and it's right here on the inside of my Bible, in the cover. Wow. Okay. All right, so here we go. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And when shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and glory? And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. And he spake to them a parable. Behold, the fig tree and all the trees. When they now shoot forth, ye see and know of your own selves that summer is now nigh at hand. So likewise ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of God is nigh at hand. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. All right. Okay, so here we go. Verses starting in 25. The disciples had asked if there would be a sign. Here, Jesus gave the answer. Jesus spoke of his return in full glory without any of the limitations he had taken on by becoming human. Jesus was not speaking of his immediate resurrection, but of his eventual glorious return. Some of the signs would be in nature, for nature itself would experience change. As taught in Romans chapter 8 and 2 Peter chapter 3, the entire universe had become involved in humanity's fallen predicament. Thus, the entire universe will be changed when humanity is changed. There will be a variety of changes: the sun going dark, the moon not being seen, stars falling, heavenly bodies being shaken. Roaring waves shows that nature will be in chaos from one end of the earth to the other. The words also recall the words of the prophets. What Jesus described here, John saw in his vision when he was on the Isle of Patmos. Verse 26, persecutions and natural disasters will cause great sorrow in the world. People will falter. When believers see these events happening, they should realize that the return of their Messiah is near and that they can look forward to his reign of justice and peace. Rather than being terrified by what is happening in the world, believers should confidently await the Lord's return, an event that will shake the very heavens. The signs will occur, verse 27. The signs will occur, and afterwards everyone will see the Son of Man arrive on the clouds with power and glory. Jesus' return will be unmistakable. To the Jews, clouds signify divine presence. Jesus will return as the powerful, glorious, and divine Son of Man. There will be no doubt as to his identity. Verse 28. When believers see these events happening, they will know that the return of their Messiah is near, and they can look forward to his reign of justice and peace. Rather than being terrified by what is happening in the world, believers should confidently await Christ's return to bring justice and restoration to his people. Verses 29 through 31. Here, Jesus answered the disciples' other question about when the events would occur. People knew when summer was coming by looking at the fig tree. Seeing the dry, brittle branches become tender, filled with sap, and beginning to bud, people knew that summer was near. Just as people can interpret the seasons by watching the signs in nature, so they can know that when they see the events he has been describing taking place, then the kingdom of God is near. The second coming of Jesus is both certain and near. The fulfillment of Jesus' prophecy would assure the disciples that the other prophecies he had given regarding the end times would also come true. Verse 32. There are three main views of the meaning of "this generation will not pass." It refers only to those alive at the time Jesus spoke and who still would be alive at the destruction of Jerusalem. 2, it refers only to those who would experience the end times. 3, it refers both to the destruction of Jerusalem and the end times. The destruction of Jerusalem contains within itself the elements of the final end times, and thus serves as a precursor. The Greek word for generation is genea. It refers both to those living at a given time as well as to race or lineage. This makes the third view most likely. Verse 33, everything may change, and eventually everything will disappear. But one truth is absolutely eternally certain. Jesus' words will remain forever. Everything he said will come true. All right, so that wraps it up on this one where Jesus talks about his return. And he's just giving you a synopsis of, okay, one thing is my return is going to be definite. You're not going to be able to deny that it's me. Next, before that, there's going to be a lot of chaos and turmoil before I come back. And just because they happen doesn't mean that I'm coming immediately after that chaos takes place. Everything has its place and time. And in its time, it's going to happen and in its place. But he's like, I assure you that everything that I tell you and say to you is going to happen. Before one thing that I've said to you not come to pass, heaven and earth will pass away. That's how sure he was of his word, and he is of his word. Until next time, God bless you, God keep you, and as I always say, continue to keep studying.